Hi, Lori. Uni, oh my gosh. So good to see everyone. Why don't you introduce yourself in the comment feed as more and more people come online? Say what, type in what is the city or country that you're calling in from, and also who's your favorite Ascended Master Keycode? Like who, better than favorite, like who's really strongly mentoring you right now? I mean, clearly we've got Green TARE, but how is your mentorship with Green TARE working with maybe another Keycode in the Sophia Code? So feel free to comment in the feed as we're going to be starting in just a few minutes. Look at all these beautiful souls that are writing in. Oh my gosh, I love our community so much. Thanks for saying hi, everyone. Okay, so I think, oh, there was one more thing I wanted to get real quick before we start. So as you continue to talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right there. There was just one other thing that I wanted to have ready for today's transmission. Okay, so just give me a minute here. Oh my goodness. Here we go. All right, got it. So here's my prayer. We're going to start off with our Green TARE practice and our invocation that we do every day. And then we're going to dive into this 10th aspect of the Keycode 3 initiation that we are working from the Sophia Code in section 2. And then at the end of all of that, Joan of Arc is going to come in, and we're going to have a meditation and prayer that Green TARE is blessing and asking us to listen to this energy coming in from Joan of Arc at the end of this call. So for those of you who are new to our mystery school, the conversation that follows after our practice, it may or may not make sense to you. It may seem like a lot of new information, and that's okay. You don't have to be here at the end of the call. For those of you who are in our mystery school, who have been doing our curriculum programs, who have been with us and praying with our prayer collective for a long time, everything that's going to come through at the end of this call is absolutely on point for what you're ready for. So either way, we're going to focus on this TARE practice first, and then at the end, we're going to close with some prayer, meditation, and activations from Joan of Arc, because I've just about had it today. With not being in that kind of fiery energy, it's time to step into that on such a bigger level And with that said, I know that everyone that's tuning in is asking to experience, needing to really drop into the peace that Green Tara is offering us. And so I really want to honor that first. And so again, if you'd like to stay with us at the end of the Green Tara part, where we'll go into a Joan of Arc part. And if that works for you, great. If not, just say thank you and continue to have a blessed day. There's been a lot that's come up for me today that I'm working through, even as we do this transmission. And there's just, there's a reason for everything. There's no accidents. There's a synchronicity for everything. And yeah, I'm seeing in the comment feed, what's the pendant I'm wearing? I'm actually wearing a Joan of Arc pendant that I just designed last year. I just designed 2 Joan of Arc pendants that will be released hopefully within this next month. And thanks. I don't know if you can see it, but what I did was I took the coat of arms of Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was given a coat of arms after she successfully liberated the French from the British Empire. And on her coat of arms was a sword that went up into the crown, the French crown, and there was just 2 fleur-de-lis on both sides of the sword. It was so appropriate for Joan, given that she was always matter of fact. She was a general's general. She was the youngest general that ever lived. She was only 19 years old when she freed France, and also when she was put to death for her ministry. So this pendant represents, I've been working so powerfully with Joan for the past several years, and it represents all of my love for her, all of the protection that she's offering our movement, all of the mentorship that she's offering our movement, helping us to understand how powerful we are during these very challenging times of evolution and honestly spiritual warfare. And so it has her banner. Although Joan carried the sword given to her from St. Catherine's Cathedral, because St. Catherine and St. Marguerite were the 2 virgin martyr saints that appeared to her alongside with Archangel Michael when they gave her marching orders to prepare herself to be of the highest service to the French people. So she always carried the sword with her on her horse, but she never fought with her sword. What she did is she rode in front of the French army with her banner, her beautiful white banner that said Jesu Maria on it, which was in essence saying that they were an army led by Jesus and Mother Mary that were there to protect the French people against the annihilation of rape consciousness that was descending over their lands. It was a very dark time in French history. So the sword, so reclaiming this coat of arms at this time for the Sophia Code movement is very, very important to Joan, and it's very important to me. And so this pendant has her sword with the crown, and then on the banner we've placed the 2 fleur-de-lis on the front. On the back, there are dragon scales with another fleur-de-lis. Joan was actually of the royal household. She was hidden at birth. Which I'm going to write a whole lot more about someday. And the whole point, and then there's a halo that's behind the crown, which represents that Joan was eventually vindicated, and all of those who had falsely accused her, those testimonies were struck down, and she was made a saint by the Catholic Church. Not that I'm any big fan necessarily of that institution. However, I am a huge fan of Joan. Whether anyone sainted her or not, she was absolutely a saint to listen to the divine will of Sophia God guiding her to help that many people that had honestly given up hope. And isn't that very much the times we are living in right now? We are living at a time where so many people have given up hope, and yet you and I have chosen to embody our divinity, to embody the radiance of our Christ light, to mentor with these very powerful ascended masters so that we could abide in the resonance of the support, the enlightenment, the crystalline clarity that we need to remain in for the coming days, months, and years of transformation that is happening here on a collective global scale. Many people have many ideas about what this reset is, as it's been called, with the CV outbreak masking a very large shift on multiple levels of reality here on planet Earth. And what's the most important thing to remember is that no matter what happens over the coming months, no matter what happens over the coming years, you have been called into your higher self embodiment in an irrevocable way. There is no turning back. There was life before this outbreak and there will be life after. Now, a lot of people talk about that in a socioeconomic sense or political structure sense. I'm not talking about it in that sense. I'm saying we all finally, like, on a much deeper level as an international community, have understood what we have been praying for, what we have been practicing, what we have been earnestly working towards in our international mystery school every day for the past 4 years since the Sophia Code was released. And before that, the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective was already up and running as a free international ministry for at least 1.5 years before the Sophia Code was released. So we have souls in this movement that have been practicing what it takes to embody the light and radiance of their sovereign divinity in a very powerful way. And I want to say thank you. Thank you from my heart to yours for taking this work very seriously and taking it into your heart, and for treasuring it as the sacred text that it really is, and for sharing about this sacred text with those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. As I've shared many, many times, this is not a text to go out and a sacred text to go out and, you know, push on people in any way, because I'm not about that. But this has also initiated me, what's happening right now, on a whole nother level, to understand that, like, for the past 4 years, I've been patiently biding my time, waiting for people to understand what I have known about the Sophia Code as a sacred text. And and I have been given direction from both Joan of Arc as well as the entire Sophia Dragon tribe. It was like, speak up that this really is a very powerful blueprint for activating all of humanity, and it's nothing less than that. Like, don't be shy, don't be afraid to shout it from the rooftops. Hey, crystalline solution right here, because this represents everything that's inside of you and nothing less than that. So I'm the kind of person where I don't, interestingly enough, as many fiery directives get channeled through me in my embodiment, in my normal human life, I don't really necessarily want to tell anybody their business. If they come to me and ask for advice, of course, I'm going to offer it. I'm going to offer it with, you know, that the fire of my higher self embodiment, and as well as the compassion of my higher self embodiment. But, you know, as far as, you know, having to offer marching orders the way I have to take them all the time with the Ascended Master, it's just like, I've held back from that. But at this point, I feel how powerful this spiritual warfare is that we're all facing every day of our life, how millions and millions and millions and millions of children are being trafficked every moment of every day of our reality. And whether you've ever come into contact or not with somebody, by the way, you have, because I was trafficked for 18 years, you know, that I can attest to the truth that reality and so much worse is always unfolding in this world. And this is the blueprint that not only saved my life, it reconciled me with my sovereign creative power to be able to make a significant difference in this world and to channel the light of Sophia God into this world in a very powerful way that's affecting thousands of lives all over the planet. The Sophia Code is now circulating at 100,000 copies worldwide, and we're just getting started. And that's self-published, by the way. You ask anybody, you tell anybody that fact, and they'll be like, WTF, are you kidding me? 100,000 copies self-published? That's right. That's because it's a sacred text. God is marketing this divine genome. The good news of your divine genome right now, it's we work day and night, but I mean that's a miracle. That's a divine plan unfolding for this planet, and we're just getting started. And we're going to be here with you over the next 10 years of humanity's evolution. We're not going anywhere. All right, so I am so grateful and so deeply moved that so many of you have taken the time to show up live here. We're going to go really deeply into our green TARE practice, both for our own peace of mind, our own peace of heart, and for the liberation of all beings, to bless all beings on the front lines of this outbreak, on the front lines of exposing these dark agendas, those souls who are advocating for our freedom, advocating for our civil rights, those souls who are advocating for those who are serving both medically as well as our service industries, the amazing souls and angels that are serving in the service industry, assuring that we continue to receive our groceries and our supplies and everything that we need to keep functioning as a society. Like, there are so many boots on the ground of people doing phenomenal good works, and we're going to pray for them today. And so I want to say thank you again for choosing to create this time together and to step up into your higher self embodiment, to begin the process of really accepting the truth of your radical sovereign divinity, which can operate your humanity in an entirely new way, in a way that's only going to bring you abundance, prosperity, greater self-acceptance, love, and a wider network of people that you're here to co-create your heaven on earth reality together with. So thank you. We're going to start by invoking a very powerful circle of protection around your body and around our container. So let's take a moment to breathe together. And I thank you for your patience, because I have so much fire pouring through me right now, given some of the events that I experienced earlier today. So thank you so much. All right, let's visualize a beautiful circle of light surrounding everyone on this call and everyone on the replay too. In this beautiful circle of light, we're now invoking the entire Sophia Dragon Tribe High Council. Now, the entire Sophia Dragon Tribe Council is Keycode 333. And that Keycode 333 contains thousands of ascended masters that all speak as a unified voice. They have been selected. They were ordained by Sophia they were invited. It's like an invitation only out to those ascended masters who had shown across all space and time their exceptional commitment and dedication to supporting and educating populations on this planet as well as others, how to ascend, how to step into the truth of our collective Christhood.